We're green. That first last chance race underway. Bob White in that unsponsored 5T out in front. Running second, Meinzer in that 15M. Your race for the number 3 spot, Meinzer in that Royer Body Shop 15M. At 91, John Cernette. That Progressive Technology 91 in the number 3 spot. Running fourth, our only lady, the 5JR, Shauna Wilski. And that Gertie Engine sponsored car. Brett Golick on the inside, and that Country Kitchen 5G moves into the number 4 spot. Your leader, the unsponsored 5T, Bob White at the wheel, Bill Todd Sr., the owner, running second. That Cutting Edge 15M, Bobby Meinzer, third, John Cernette. That Lawrence Auto Body 91 running in the number 4 spot, that Hawkeye Bank 5G, that Brett Golick. Bob White stretching that lead out of turn number 4. Bobby Meinzer second, Johnson at third, Brett Golick fourth, and that final transfer to the C main. White by the flag stand, your leader. Meinzer now by as White stretching that lead out ever more. The 91 of Cernette, then the 5G of Golick. Bob White now with a straightaway lead over second place. That Bill Todd Sr. owned sprinter, the 5T. Bob White at the wheel, out in front. Brett Golick, that Maple Chevrolet 5G challenging Cernette now for the number 3 spot. On the inside, Brett Golick, John Cernette going at it for the number 3 position. White flag for Bob White. But Golick working for the number 3 spot. Him and Cernette have a little trouble through 4. They both gather it up. Coming, winning the first last chance race of 5T, Bob White. Running second, the 15M of Bobby Meinzer. Running third, the 91 of John Cernette, close behind the 5G of Brett Golick.
Kenny McCarl into the lead in the yellow number 66. Got one upside down hard. The 2E of Tracy Kramer. Green flag once again. Wessels and Kenny McCarl. Griffiths down on the bottom in the 91M. Your top 3. Here comes Terry Alexander in the 7X, running down on the low side. Off the 4th turn, the 28W, Todd Wessels. It's still Wessels as he extends his advantage over Kenny McCarl in that yellow number 66. Griffiths running third, Alexander. Here comes Mark Wilson in the 20 car. Alexander now up on the top side, trying to move around Griffiths as he comes off turn number 2 and down the back chute. Alexander now running third. Wessels still your leader off the 4th turn under the flag stand. Jeff Griffiths in the 91M holding that final transfer spot. Wessels still holding that advantage. Wessels and McCarl. Alexander and Griffiths, your top 4. Terry Alexander Trying to close the gap on the 66 of Kenny McCarl. Alexander takes it up on the cushion. Terry Alexander working on Kenny McCarl. Wessel still your leader. Mark Wilson trying to move in on the 91M of Jeff Griffiths for that final transfer spot. White flag on this circuit. The 28W, Todd Wessels, out of Ellsworth, Minnesota. Alexander in the 7X. Kenny McCarl, Jeff Griffiths running in the top 4. Off the 4th turn, looking for the checkered flag. Todd Wessels running 2nd, the 7X of Alexander. 3rd, the 66 of Kenny McCarl. 4th, the 91M of Jeff Griffiths.
Painted side by side, looking down at the flag stand with Doug Clark and Norm Wadley. Look at the cars over, looking for the white line. Leonard Lee picks it up. We look good. We're green. Dropping down low, Jeff Swindell real quickly. Swindell grabs the lead right off the 1st turn. Leonard Lee running 2nd, Brian Paulus 3rd. Here comes Mark Kitzer. Mark's up into 4th already. In a half a lap and down the front straightaway, Kitzer on the move. Scott Hogue running 5th, way up against the outside wall. A 3-car race for 2nd. Here goes Mark Kitzer down the back chute into 3rd. Now on the inside, goes into 2nd. Jeff Swindell stretches it way out in front. Mark Kitzer running 2nd. Leonard Lee is 3rd. Brian Paulus 4th. Scott Hogue 5th on the outside. Every position means points. Yellow. Jerry Richard. Well, I'm sure Jeff Swindell didn't like that yellow flag coming out. Wiped out that big lead he had over Mark Kitzer. Andy Hillenberg came out with the top point standings after last night's program, but anything could happen tonight. It's possible to get a 500 point. We're going to green. We go. Jeff Swindell, Mark Kitzer goes quickly to the high side. Going after Swindell on the outside. And holy cow! Mark Kitzer. The charge of the Young Lions, and Mark came out on top. Jeff Swindell running 2nd. Leonard Lee is still 3rd. The race now for 3rd and 4th. The top 4 cars transfer to the main event. This is 10 qualifying laps, 10 laps. Brian Paulus takes over 3rd place. Leonard Lee running 4th. The 15C of Lee Brewer Jr. Lee Brewer on the move, trying to catch up to the 3rd and 4th place cars. Brewer wanting a transfer. Scott Hogue back in 6th. Up against the fence, Jerry Richards stays on top. Mark Kitzer stretches it well out in front. Jeff Swindell, a comfortable 2nd, way up against the fence, Leonard Lee. Lee Brewer has caught up to the 3rd and 4th place cars. He's got to make one more spot. One more spot to make that main event, and that's where everybody wants to be. White flag coming out from Mark Kitzer. White flag, 1 lap to go. The race still for 4th place. White flag, 1 lap remaining. The race for 4th. The final transfer spot to the A main. Brewer on the inside. He's got to do it this time. He's down on the inside of Leonard Lee, and he pulls up in front. Lee Brewer takes over 4th place. Leonard Lee back into 5th. Jerry Richard now running 6th. The checkered flag is out, down to the wire. From the tail of the field to take the win in the first qualifying heat race, car number 5M, Olynyk, Indiana's fast qualifier, Mark Kinzer. Finishing 2nd, the 7 TW, Jeff Swindell. 3rd in the 28, Brian Paulus. 4th in 15C, Lee Brewer Jr. Those four.
The yellow lights off once again, coming around to that 4th turn. Todd Grayson, that 25G on the inside, moves up top, back to the bottom. Grace, your leader. Breezy Whitworth working the high side. 66, Mike Peters, that 66P. On the inside, takes that number 2 spot. Bobby Davis Jr. moves into 4th place in the 4 car. Your leader, that Marley Groves Ford 25G, Todd Gracie. Running 2nd on Trop Harding, 66P, Mike Peters. On the high side, and Worthington Ag Service 96, Breezy Whitworth challenged for the number 2 spot. Running 4th, that Goodyear sponsored 4, Bobby Davis Jr. He goes to the inside of Whitworth. Whitworth up to the challenge, and that Cab Builders 96. Bobby Davis Jr. on the inside, that red 4 still working hard. Breezy Whitworth the high side, loses a little ground out of 2. Davis takes 3rd. Now Lasowski on the inside. And that Manheim auction 77 moves into the number 4 spot. Running 2nd, that JB number 4, Bobby Davis Jr. Running 2nd, at Phillips 66, Mike Peters, your leader. Todd Gracie, that 25G, that Mick Builder sponsored car. Bobby Davis working the high side, taking a hard look at Mike Peters, but Peters up to the challenge so far. On the inside, Davis up top once again through 3 and 4. Davis Jr. on the high side. Takes the number 2 spot now. He's looking to go to the lead. Bobby Davis Jr. He's on a move on the cushion. Davis got some moisture working up top for him. That 4 car out in front. Gracie in a 25G running 2nd. Lasowski now goes up top on Peters. That Cornwell Tool 77 now goes to the bottom. He's running 3rd. Bobby Davis Jr., your leader. Now race for the number 3 spot, Mike Peters, Danny Lasowski. Lasowski on the inside, that Manheim auction 77 goes into 2nd. Bobby Davis Jr. with about a straightaway lead now on 2nd place. Lasowski with some ground to make up on Davis. Mike Peters running in the number 4 spot, that Trop Harding 66P running 3rd. That Marley Groves Ford 25G, Todd Gracie, and a white flag one more time for that Snap-on sponsor for Bobby Davis Jr. Checkered flag, he's through 3, coming into 4. Memphis, Tennessee's Bobby Davis Jr. running 2nd. Missouri's Danny Lasowski. Running 3rd, Pennsylvania's Todd Gracie. 4th and final transfer of the A main, the 66P of Mike Peters.
To the white line, looking for the green flag from Doug Clark. Whitworth, McMahon, we got one sideway.